friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the October Faves and Fails. I cannot believe somehow, someway we are already to November this year, or as I like to call it, my birthday month. I am so excited to go through some makeup with you today because I've got to tell you about some stuff that, one, are my faves, obviously. Two, are some fails, obviously. But there's also some things I'm working on behind the scenes here to try to figure out how I feel about it. As many of you know, I am a girl that has some skin changes going on, and some of this skincare this past month, and I'm sure some stress, has really broken me out. So I've been trying to dissect some things behind the scenes as far as skincare goes. And as a lot of you guys saw, and if you didn't, I will link it above, the Halloween special I did for you guys with a ton, nothing but actually, Boxycharm makeup. That video was so much fun to go through, and it sounds like so many of you guys loved all that extra effort I put into that video, so thank you so much for watching and enjoying that. That video really helped me to go down a rabbit hole of some other things that kind of fell off my radar, and I'm going to talk about in this video as well. Let's have a little quality time together, shall we? Let's jump into this little deep dive. Grab a tea, grab a snack, get comfy. I have some coffee right now. Let's dive into this together. Oof. My hair is kind of a fail right now. It is doing this weird frizzy, curly, not quite curly, wavy thing. So just bear with this stuff on my head right now. The seasons are starting to really change here in Florida. We're seeing some drastic, cold front coming in for us, which is kind of nice being someone from the Midwest. But my hair and my skin is definitely not having it. It's just not. How's that time change treating all of you? Can we just say that the time change is a fail? Some of you may actually enjoy it, so for you it may not be a fail. For me, it's a little rough, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna address a couple actually different things in this video because so many interesting things have developed through the month of October for makeup and some stuff that I've been using behind the scenes that I feel like I really gotta get into some of this. The first thing I'm gonna let you guys know is you are going to see some things that you've heard me talk about this year because I have really been dedicated this year to really going through my stash. Yes, I still get Boxycharm. Yes, there's still been a few purchases I've brought in, but I'm really trying to work with what I've got right now. I'm not trying to just go throw money out the window every month to try something new for my channel. I've really just been letting you guys know where my head is at with what I have and what I've been getting from Boxy. And speaking of Boxy, we really have to talk about this because some of you may not know, but I know a lot of you have reached out to me on Instagram, here on my channel, in my last video, messaging me. So many of you are going, okay, it was announced Ipsy bought Boxycharm. I know. I heard about this the same day it came out because of one of my awesome subscribers told me the second she found out, so I got it really quickly early on. A lot of you were asking me in my last video that was dedicated to Boxycharm and a full face of. You guys were like, so, how do you feel about this? Let's talk about it. For those of you that are new to this news, that may be shocking to you. Yes, Ipsy, which is also a subscription box that does sample products, for the most part, that's kind of how they got their start. I feel like they've been ahead on a lot of things when it comes to subscriptions being a little bit more mainstream. They were one of the first out there, and then they started doing add-ons before Boxy. So I was really appreciating some of the stuff that I did see from Ipsy when I was an Ipsy customer. I really stopped getting Ipsy though because I wasn't enjoying the products. Yes, I feel like they had possibly a better quiz that was associated with my account that I think did a better job than Boxy has of giving me things that I've actually told them I want. I feel like their infrastructure as far as the data goes was better, but I'm honestly a little nervous about this. I can tell you guys what I know so far, which is pretty much everything you can look up online. The Bloomberg News headline is Ipsy buys makeup box rival Boxycharm in $500 million deal. Now, keep in mind, I learned from Jen Loves Reviews is what I want to call her, but she just changed her channel name to Jen Loves. She got into a little bit of a deeper dive with this, that it sounds like it was more about stocks, so there wasn't $500 million cash handed to Joe from Boxycharm, who's the president and CEO. It was more of a stock situation, and it does sound like Joe, who is from Boxycharm, the owner, will be heavily involved, and there's still going to be two separate subscription boxes as of this moment. The pairing will create a combined business with more than 4.3 million subscribers and $1 billion in revenue this year, according to the company. Ipsy and Boxycharm will operate as separate brands in a merged company called BFA Industries, which is going to be short for Beauty for All. The terms were not fully disclosed just yet. This is all still fresh in the news. The combined companies could go public in the next 18 months, says the Ipsy Chief Executive Officer, who does plan to lead the new company. Management will also look for more acquisitions in the subscription commerce sector, so don't be surprised if you don't learn soon that more of them are being bought and under an umbrella that is Ipsy's original name. They may go with another name, like they may just change them all to one, but it sounds like, the head honcho, the CEO of Ipsy will still be like the main guy over all of them though. The CEO of Ipsy said, for us, it's about just creating an undisputed leader in subscription where we have a large percentage of the market. So it's just pretty much a business deal. It's smart business for them to pretty much buy up their competitors. I did read in here that they will be putting together a new box under this umbrella and sending it out, but I don't think it's going to be makeup. I think it might be something else. Joe Martin, Boxycharm's founder, will join the board of the new company and continue to lead the brand. The merged company will also launch a new personal care subscription service called Refreshments in a few weeks, says the CEO of Ipsy, which is now over Boxycharm. So there's still going to be a lot of stuff coming out, and that's not even everything from this article. I'll link some stuff below just in case you're curious like me and you just kind of want to know the details. This could be really interesting. I really don't know how I feel about it as an influencer that is currently on their PR. I can tell you that behind the scenes, if you are an influencer that gets their PR, our rules have changed a little bit through the past few years. When I was originally added to be someone on their PR list, it was just kind of a every month you will get it. And then very quickly, it switched to maybe about 6 to 8 months, maybe 8 months to a year later. We were told that we had to start doing proposals every month for them, like in a dashboard that we work with. And so it wasn't always maybe a given that you'd get a box, but I think you were still technically on their PR list because they were still working it all out. And now, even though we've still been kind of like working behind the scenes on their new platforms as influencers, now it sounds like things could change even more. So I really don't know what this means. I am hopeful that we're not going to see anything negative with the Boxycharm name. I'm hoping that it's still going to be like full-size items. The prices will stay the same, I hope. And maybe this will be an opportunity to get even better things. I'm hoping that maybe this will eliminate some filler products, but who knows? Because I still get 3 boxes every single month. And so often I hear from you guys, wow, you got 3 boxes that are all different. And that looks nothing like what I have. So there's been so much variety and so much change with Boxycharm over the past few years. I'm really curious how this is going to go. I am a little nervous because I did stop getting Ipsy because I didn't care for the products I was getting from that brand. So I'm hoping, because Joe's influence will still be over the Boxycharm sector of this, I'm hoping things just get better, more infrastructure is placed as far as maybe our surveys being utilized more to get what we're asking for, since it seems like Ipsy may have the edge on that because they were introducing that so much sooner and seem to be a bit more accurate. But I've also seen Ipsy videos where the quizzes were totally inaccurate. So it's really hard to gauge at this moment, and it's so early on. So let's stay tuned and kind of figure this out together. But I know a lot of you guys were asking me about that, so I thought I would start this video kind of letting you know what I've learned and my thoughts so far. Fingers crossed. Diving now into some makeup products that I am excited to let you know that I am loving are some things that are a little bit newer to my collection, but they're from Boxy's add-ons. One of the things that I have to tell you I have continually reached for in the mornings when I am doing my makeup is something that kind of shocked me considering the way I've been wearing makeup this year. A lot of you guys know this year I keep mentioning I'm just doing a more natural face. I've been doing a lot more of the medium coverage foundations. And on a whim, I literally saw in the add-ons for the last Boxycharm this Natasha Denona Transform Disappearing Your Pores Matte Foundation. And since it was on a deal, I was like, why not try it? And I have fallen in love with this, but this is definitely a higher coverage than I am used to these days because I've been totally leaning back into some more lighter coverage options that I usually love, like my CoverGirl Olay Simply Ageless. It makes my skin look gorgeous but natural. The It Confidence Your Skin But Better CC Plus foundation. This is a higher coverage, but you can make it look a little bit more medium coverage, and I was really enjoying that. This was a little bit newer to my collection as well. But dang it all to heck, I tried this and I was like, holy cow. Yeah, it's a higher coverage, so I really need to do a less is more approach when I'm applying it, just so I can have a little bit more natural of a skin look. But I am loving this foundation, and I think it is because my skin has been a little all over the map this year, and by afternoons I can still get oily, or I can start to see some movement with makeup because of my skin. And this has really just made my makeup game go, oh, okay, not only are we going to be matte, we're going to stay put all day. I've been in this a lot. And this honestly shocked me for the simple fact that I have been telling you I have been loving the more natural looks. And this makes me feel like I can kind of go a bit more glam. And I've kind of been doing that just a little bit here and there, but I have really enjoyed this foundation, and I really like that I got it on such a great, crazy deal. I did use this product on camera live for the first time, doing a full face of makeup in that Halloween special. So like I told you, I will be linking that above so you can check it out, how it applies and how it looks when you're going on. It looks really nice, and it moves with your skin. You could go lighter with it, or you can go heavier with it just to add more, and it doesn't give you cake face, which is amazing too, especially since I add so many powders to my face because oily skin girl. I have a lot of issues with the oils. Something that is a drugstore item that I have told you guys, it's kind of boring, but it has been literally a ride or die powder for me. And when I went cruelty free a couple years back, I realized I had to cut this out of my routine, and it kind of broke my heart. I had a hard time finding something else that I liked as much. And then when this drugstore cheap inexpensive brand that I actually have one more delivering today, because you're going to see a lot of pan on this. This is the kind of year that I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's working. Just get another one. It's awesome. The CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Powder. Yes. Look at all that pan. My shade is Creamy Neutral 110. And this is in my Amazon links that I will have below. I just have to tell you, like, I hit pan to the point that I'm already having crumbles falling out every time I use it. So this week, I actually just went on Amazon and bought one more of these because I'm still not going into drugstores locally. I'm not. So I do have one of these delivering this morning because I was so excited that it's holding even this new matte foundation in, and it's locking in all of the oils, so nothing's kind of coming through, but also the creasing. I find that this powder is so creamy that it just glides onto your skin. It's great for touch-ups, but it's awesome for the under eye. The primary way that I use this is to take the same applicator it comes with. I don't even really go in with a brush. I go into some of this product and I smooth everything under the eyes and then down the nose, because that's where makeup can move for me too, or like in those creases right there, just have bald spots. This just makes everything seamless from my foundation and concealer, and you put this on, it is such a beautiful application for my skin that I just can't live without this right now. Yeah, I have other powders, and I am going to talk about some more for the full face, but as far as like under the eyes and on the nose goes, and a little bit in the T-zone area, this powder, I've not found anything better, honestly, and it's inexpensive drugstore, so you gotta love that. Another powder that I did demonstrate for you in that Halloween special was a loose powder that I first tried it and wasn't too in love with it. Now, it could have been a variety of the things I was using for a Boxycharm video, so that's why I like to go even deeper with the makeup, try things longer behind the scenes, and then come here in these faves and fails and let you know some updates. Yes, I do think I have a quarterly review coming up really soon, so stay tuned and be subscribed for that with Boxycharm. But I'm going to tell you right now, this Too Faced Born This Way translucent loose powder really did a beautiful job that day and any of the other days that I have been using it on the face. This product I'll generally use after foundations, concealers, and I've put down a little bit under the eyes and down the nose of the CoverGirl. I do still use this even when I'm using this, but keep in mind I'm an oily skin girl, so if you're a bit drier, this may be too many powders for you. You may only need this or this. Kind of depends on what your needs are. But this powder did a great job of just kind of like letting everything settle down. It made everything not tacky from any of the other liquids I had on prior. And whatever I was using after that, contour powders, the bronzers, highlighters, moving stuff around with other brushes, nothing moved. And that was a test of a good translucent powder to set everything down. I was very impressed with this that day. And some of these higher end and less expensive end products, like everything looked great. And I think this helped a lot with that whole face look. And the face makeup was really what I was impressed with that day. A lot of you guys know the eyeshadows didn't come to play as well as I hoped they would, but the rest of my makeup looked beautiful with the contours, the bronzers, and the powders. So this, I feel like, was a great piece of that look. So I have definitely been utilizing this more in my morning routine since I filmed that video. I've been just kind of like adding a bit here and there with a fluffier brush. I've learned I need to use a much fluffier, loose brush, nothing too tightly packed, to really let it move across the skin without grabbing and pulling it all. I like it a lot. Okay, so I feel like I need to kind of get into a few of the things that I was not loving or pleasantly surprised me, but it's very rare that I reach for that. This Ace Beaute palette was a palette I used in that video because I really did want to see how this would work, because the color story is very warm toned and it's also very dark. Like some of these shades I'd only be able to use very, very lightly with a loose brush or for eyeshadows. I used these two shades up here for a bronzer look and I thought it was really good. I had to stay very light with it. I had to use the back of the brush so I didn't have too much pigment, and it did complement and look nice. But there was a lot of effort to be minimal with it because this product is a bit more pigmented. As you can see here, it's very pigmented and it's very bold easily. It's very creamy and I like that it is a matte formula. It's just something that I now am starting to get more and more of these face palettes, and again, tiny beauty space, I really have to be mindful of what I'm keeping, because if I'm not using it, there's no point. I may as well pass it on. This is getting to that like teetering edge with me. I'm so glad I did try it to know that these two shades did do great, but this is still holding up a lot of space, and right now I feel like I've got a lot of makeup from Boxycharm, and something that I got more recently is kicking this piece's butt. It's just the way it is. This Pretty Vulgar Nesting Bee face palette is kind of the direct competitor in my beauty space with this right now. I just stuck my finger in the bronzer. And as far as a comparison goes, you can kind of see here you get a lot more options with this one over here, but also the color story is much more my jam. And then the things that maybe I wouldn't reach for as much, I have other options in here. Like, yeah, I may not go into that shimmer bronzer as much, but the two matte ones are good. The blush are pretty nice. The highlighter is stunning. Whereas this is just kind of one note of a lot of the same stuff. And I'm not a makeup artist that needs a lot of variety to work on clients with. So, you know, while I think the formula isn't bad, it's still got a lot of punch to it. You need a very light hand with this particular product. And this is very natural, and it just kind of really moves with my skin. So before I got this, I was kind of just like, okay, well, I'll use this, you know, on hand when I want to, if I'm going to do a comparison video for Boxy, whatever, for you guys here on my channel. But now that I have this piece and the drawer's starting to fill up with palettes, I'm not sure how this is gonna go. This is probably gonna keep getting pushed back. So this is just kind of on my radar. I'm not decluttering anything in this video, but stay tuned and be subscribed, because I am starting to pull aside some things that I just know aren't working for me right now, and I need to do a declutter before year end for sure. And it's already November, so we are running out of Sundays, guys. So be sure to be subscribed and hit the bell, because apparently you don't get notified unless you're hitting the bell these days. But this is something that is kind of on my chopping block. I do need to make a commitment to use it a bit more, compare it to some of the stuff I'm liking, and see where this lands. Two other things that just have not been my jam, and I'm kind of struggling with them, are two eyeshadow palettes. Again, one of them I did a little funny Halloween joke about in my last video, and another one you guys saw me struggle. Well, I fast forwarded through a ton of it so you wouldn't see me struggle as much, but this Ace Beaute Vintage Dawn palette I've had in my collection for about a year now. I think I got this last fall into winter from Boxy, and this was my choice item, and this is a really pretty palette. If you missed that video, I went into this green shade a lot to build up the outer corner, the crease, and all of that. The orange colors did beautiful for under eye, but this baby, no matter how much I buffed, I blended, I tried to marry it with even, smooth tones that were underneath it. It just didn't really work. There was a lot of patchiness, and then a while later, it was starting to move and kind of just be a little bit of everywhere. So I was super disappointed that the one shade that I was really excited about wasn't really working it for me, but the two orange ones were really nice. But how often am I just going to reach for just an orange look? Well, knowing me, sometimes I do that, but it's not been a lot lately. This shade doesn't work, which is one of the ones I was really intrigued by when I was looking at the palette. I can't use it as much for some of the coordinating colors that I was excited to use with that green. So that's where my brain is at with this at the moment. Big time, big bummer for this. Very disappointed. And if you did see my last Boxycharm video, you'll also know this Illuminati palette has been really... it's very chalky. It feels like you need to do a lot of buildup. I was actually intrigued by the color story. I know that was like the killer for most people, is they hated the color story. I was even like, yeah, I'll try it. I'm game. I'm open to whatever. But the palette formula is very inconsistent. I did not like, I've tried almost all of these colors. I did not like them. I couldn't get them to build up. And then a lot of you let me know you have yet to see a good review about this palette. Everyone's comments below in that video were really surprising to me, because I don't get a lot of opportunities to watch a ton of other Boxycharm videos out there. And a lot of you let me know that you just were seeing so many people saying this didn't work. So I'm glad to know it wasn't just me, but I'm also disappointed to hear that. So this is something that I'm really considering decluttering, because this is also big and bulky. And I don't know anybody with young kids, but I'm just wanted to be like, what, I need a teenager or a young kid in my life to give this to, because that's honestly the quality it is. And the price was like 46 bucks or something like that for this, or the MSRP was. Psh, no, it's not. My eye look today is actually saving me from disliking this palette as much. And it's not even that I dislike this palette. I think I just get stumped by this palette that I got from Boxycharm that has a high-end value. This is not a fail for me, but this is something that I need to take some time to play with behind the scenes. And I'm so glad I did this morning, because this is actually a purplish maroon kind of look with the Ciate London palette. The editor palette, it's supposed to have all of those autumnal New England hues to them, according to the card and all that stuff. So I was super excited to play with this fall. I find myself getting stumped while I'm looking at it. As you can kind of see here, it's still got a lot of fallout. It's a pretty messy palette because it's very loose. You've got to be able to really like fluff off some product, or maybe do your eyes first. I am an awful creature of habit where I just, without thinking, do my face makeup first and then I go into eyes at the end. It's like the cherry on the cake. It's like my favorite part to do, so I save it towards the end. And some shadows just don't work well like that. This has a lot of fallout. I did use this a touch in my Halloween special because I wanted to go into this green, and on your finger it applies really nicely. It really was the life of that eye look that day. Today I went into pretty much all of these shades down here that look like they're kind of crumbly. If you can kind of see all of the fluff and all of the particles around there, it all just kind of came out because this is the area I really gravitated to this morning, along with some of these, to create this eye look that I think looks really nice and even and blended, but there is some buildup you need to do with this. I like this, but it's definitely not my favorite formula or favorite palette, and it could be the color story for me. I feel a little stumped, and I tried to just dedicate time to this palette today. I didn't want to add anything else in, so it took me a little bit longer just to kind of get a vision of what I wanted, I guess. It's not a bad formula, it's just one that I'm not as familiar with, I suppose, so I either need to decide if this is something I want to invest more time in to try and use, or if I just want to stick to some of the stuff I know I enjoy and kind of move on. So I'm still on the fence about this. I do like today's eye look though. I'm just trying to decide. Something that I let you guys know I was going to be trying more after my Boxycharm video, because I didn't realize this product was cruelty-free. I had a lot of products to dive through that just really weren't telling us what was what, and I told you I was going to try this product more behind the scenes and give you an update. The product is these Go-To Exfoliating Face Swipeys is what they're called. This is by Go-To Skincare, I believe. At least that's the name that I keep seeing on here. I actually like these, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about an exfoliating swipey or wipe, whatever you want to call it. They call them Swipeys. I really only use this every now and again. I don't like to exfoliate my skin every single day, even though that seems to be what Boxycharm just continually gives me, is all exfoliating products. I've worked this into sometimes a morning routine, maybe every second day or so, and then sometimes in the evenings at the end of the day after I've taken off my makeup. And I noticed that it's still getting out some of the gunk, you know, that it's kind of like in the crevices. It's still pulling out stuff and getting it out. So it does a really great job. And I've also, since I've been using this, noticed my skin clearing up a bit, but I've also been pushing back on some of the other things that I've been trying for skincare, just so I can start to dissect a little bit deeper what is working for me and what isn't. This has been, I just need to use it with moderation, because with exfoliating, you don't want to overdo it or you're really going to aggravate your skin. At least that's how my skin reacts. So be mindful of your face. They're just kind of like textured little wipes that you can use. One side's a little bit more coarse than the other. And yeah, so far I'm actually really enjoying this. Just don't overuse it. I like it. Something that I actually told you guys in one of my recent videos that I was going to be repurchasing. I ended up repurchasing 2 more of them. This is the Sugar Rush Best Bud Lip, I think. Best Bud in the shade Peony. These are just like lip butters in these cute little containers. I had to come back here on camera and let you guys know like a month or so ago. I was wrong. The first time around, I just kind of thought I didn't like this, and I still don't like that I have to stick my finger in a pot, because I do feel like sometimes with longer nails you can, you know, get a little dirty. I wasn't really a big fan of like having to stick my finger in here and everything, but this formula and this product has really saved our lips. We're kind of a chapstick house where we always have a bunch of chapsticks around. I've mentioned that. I ended up having to get 2 more of these because Adam and I just burned through one as we were kind of doing the whole mask thing. I was getting some maskne. He wears a mask all day at work, so it's just kind of like helping our lip health right now. So I got 2 more of these. That is an endorsement in itself when it is that good. I will say though, don't get this on Amazon because it's twice the price. I got mine off of Tarte. It shipped and delivered pretty quickly, and I got 2 for the price of 1 on Amazon. So I know a lot of people are like loving Amazon right now because of Prime and it's super easy, but getting this from Tarte, I got more for my money and it was still really quick shipping. Just a note from me to you. So I've got one other skincare thing that I wanted to talk about that I'm just not sure how to use. Some of you let me know I should try it in my nighttime routine, and that is where I'm starting to place it. Although I'm really struggling still with a full skincare routine in the evenings. I've kind of figured out one in the mornings that I'm kind of switching up as I go with Boxy and as I get new products in. But this product that I got from the add-ons with Boxy is a bougie item, but I think it was breaking me out a bit, or it was just maybe too thick for what was going on at the time. I don't know. This is the CEO Sunday Riley Skincare. It comes in this cute little box and it's got a little wand to be able to scoop product out. It's a vitamin C rich hydration cream, and it is very thick and it smells just like oranges, like fresh oranges. I love putting that on my skin, like on my chest and on my shoulders in the mornings, because I always tell my ladies out there, especially if you are bustier, putting some moisturizer down here is going to help with any chest wrinkles that can start to form. And this is something that I found works really good for that because it's a nice, thicker product. But as far as the face goes, I think I need to transition it more to maybe an evening moisturizer and just use a light hand with it. I'm still figuring this out because I feel like even though I've used thicker moisturizers in the morning, this one was in a combination with something else, though I told you. It was like a Farsali product. I'm pretty sure the Farsali product for sure broke me out. I'm still investigating this one. So I'm adding this in more to my collection for November. So stay tuned when I give you a little bit more update about that. All right, I have not reached for this product since my Boxycharm video because I just think the smell and the taste is such a detractor for me. And I know a lot of you in my comments said the same stuff about this really great brand's lip balm, but then the other half of you were like, I might be weird, but I like it. No, it's okay. Some of you do like it, and that's totally great. This is the Sol de Janeiro, like, Bum Bum Lip Balm. This is in Teeny Bikini. I don't know if it's called Bum Bum Lip Balm, but that's just what I think of. It's a beautiful color. Beautiful, perfect color for my lips. So I'm so sad that it's such a distraction for me, mostly because to me this smells like old Play-Doh and I can't get it out of my head. I heard later some people saying buttered popcorn, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could get that, but because my first instinct was to think old Play-Doh, that's all I can think of. And then you do start to taste it on your lips a bit, and it was so distracting and disappointing at the same time. I've not reached for this in a while, but kind of like this I didn't reach for this for a long time either, and now I just told you I bought 2 more. So I'm not going to declutter this just yet. I'm going to give it some more love and some more time, because again, I like the color. I like how it feels. I just really hate the smell and the taste of it. So I'm kind of disappointed in this, and I still don't find myself reaching for it now. Okay, friends, now I'm so excited to get to my monthly shout-outs. As many of you guys know, this is my favorite part of the month every month, where I get to shout out some of you guys that I see all month long in my comment section, and I just love seeing you guys so much. And I just have to do a quick thank you to now all the new people coming here too. We just hit 13,000 subscribers on Halloween. I even put on my Instagram, like, what are the odds? Like, it's so crazy to me that on Halloween, which was known as like the first Halloween since the 40s, I think, that it was a full blue moon and all of these crazy things in the year of 2020. I'm like, what are the odds that I would hit 13,000 on Halloween? That was a full moon. You guys make this so special for me every time I get to upload with you guys, so thank you so much for all of the love. And I'm gonna give some special thank yous right now. Becca's Beauty Journey, thank you so much for all of the love that you keep putting on my channel. I love that you loved that Halloween video so much. A lot of you guys let me know that's just kind of what you needed that day, is a little lift in your day, because it's just fun. We're just talking about some things that are working for me with Boxycharm that weren't, and it was all Halloween themed, where you guys were part of my witchy coven. You said that you love all of my videos, but you were like, thank you so much for doing something like this that's just fun and exciting. So you are welcome, and thank you for all of your love and support. Deborah Levin, am I going to say your name wrong? Liven? I'm so sorry if I say that wrong, girl. You wrote me like these long paragraphs here of what your thoughts were on like my Halloween video, and you said you even went back through all of my Halloween links and my videos that you appreciated having just for something fun to watch. You gave me your thoughts on the brow products I used, on the eyeshadow palette and how patchy it was. I just really appreciate when you guys give me your thoughts, you guys engage with me, because it's just like having our friends here talking about makeup and having a great little time. So thank you ladies so much for all of the love. I appreciate all of you more than I'll be able to ever say. And you just never know. You could always be shouted out in one of these monthly faves. So be sure to be subscribed and comment below. I love talking to you guys. Oh, I'm going to talk about one more favorite. Please forgive me, but I had it sitting over here and I almost missed it. I have 2 things that I know I've talked about before, but it is what is achieving this gorgeous lip look today. It can make my lips look fuller. It makes them look nice with any eye look I do. It could be a neutral, just sultry or day-to-day eye look, or it really dresses up something that's got a little bit more blown out color to it. And it's these 2. What's on my lips today is this Ofra nude shade called Sao Paulo. It is a gorgeous nude. And I can just use some lip liner, put this on and go. But if I'm wanting a little bit more juiciness, this is a weird product from Boxycharm. Not weird, but not a brand that is really well known. This was in I think my like hidden gems video with Boxycharm I let you know I love. I'm still using this every week with this kind of lippy. This is a gloss from Lartsy, and this one is in the shade Vibe. It is a perfect tone of lippy for me. I have been putting this over the top of most nude things, but even something with a little bit more color, it just kind of like gives you that gorgeous nude shine that I just think looks so sexy and pretty, and it just gives your pout that little extra oomph. So sorry I need to add that at the end here. I had this hidden under a towel accidentally, but these are the 2 things that I am loving for all of my lip looks lately. I just love it. Boring because it's nude? Probably. But is it universal for Zoom calls? Yeah. And all the crazy eye looks I try to do, because I am still trying to figure out more palettes behind the scenes, and sometimes you just need a good go-to lip color to go with all the crazy eye looks I'm doing. I was on a Zoom call yesterday with one of my vendors, and she's like, your blue eyeshadow is really pretty. And then I felt myself getting self-conscious about having on a blue eyeshadow. Do you guys ever do that? I'm just weird like that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it's blue, it's pretty vibrant, but it's fun. And she was actually complimenting it, but I was like, sometimes I'm worried my crazy can't be contained. Guys, thank you so much for going through this whole past month with me, and this month is going to be just as exciting because this is my birthday month. I am so ready to put together some fun videos for you guys. I love you, and if you happen to be new here, hi new friends. I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, otherwise I don't know if you'll ever find me again, so you don't miss out on all of these fun, loud, weird, unique videos I do every single week here on my channel. Bye friends!